Hi guys, it's Ben here from T-Rex Space Station. How's everyone doing? This is going to be a random collection questions video because it's kind of come to my attention that a lot of the time we will pick certain games to talk about, and maybe on some of our channels, you know, there are recurring themes where certain games get talked about often. Maybe you're always going to pick games that meant something to you, or more recognizable titles, or whatever it is. But actually a lot of us have pretty big collections full of games that we never speak about. So I thought it would be fun to kind of do a random collection question video in which I get you guys to talk about some of the different games that there are in your collection. So I'm going to go through 5 questions and give my own answers to the questions, and it'd be great if you guys could post responses in the comments below. And you know, maybe if there's a interest, I could make this into a running thing and maybe do it once a month. And you know, if there's a few responses, maybe I could randomly pick certain answers to show you in the next episode. Who knows? Let's just see how it goes. So, without further ado, the first game then will be a game in your collection that you got for £5 or less. I guess if you're in America, this would be about $7, maybe $7.50 or less. I'm going to go for a game that I've actually played on my channel pretty recently. It's Megalomania. And it's amazing, if you actually look on the front of this, it cost £44.99 when it first came out, and then it was reduced to £40.49. Unbelievable how expensive games were back in the day. This is one of my Play Expo finds, and I found this boxed and complete in really good condition for £5. And I wouldn't have noticed it if it wasn't for my good friend Andy, who pointed it out and said, "Mate, that is a really good game there, you need to check that out." I think he'd played it quite a bit when he was a kid, and I showed a gameplay video of it recently. It's really, really good, and it's one of the few examples of a real-time strategy game on the Sega Mega Drive. And I always like collecting games on the Mega Drive that are a little bit different maybe, or that haven't been done before. If you want to see my gameplay video, it's like the last video that I posted, so check it out. It's a really interesting game. You kind of go through certain epochs of technology, and you essentially are on small islands and have to fight against 1 or up to 3 other computer players, and you're kind of racing to get technology and racing to kind of outsmart them with resources and then take over their fortresses. And it's flipping addictive. I think it was originally an Amiga game that was then ported across to Mega Drive and maybe even PC, not sure about that. Okay, game number 2 then, a game in your collection that was recommended to you by somebody else. And I've gone for Exuma here, which is a Sega Saturn game. And this was another Play Expo pickup. This one was recommended to me by Dave Webster. He's, knows his stuff when it comes to Saturn really, and he's got a damn good collection that I've been to see in person. And it's kind of nice going game shopping with Dave because he knows what to look out for. And I've heard very good things about this game in the past, and several people would list it as in their list of good Saturn games. But it was really Dave that brought this to my attention, and so when I saw it at Play, I think it was about £10 or so, I had to get it. And it's a very, very intriguing, quite unique first-person shooter. There was a version on the PlayStation 1 as well, which is different. There's something about this game that's kind of special. I don't know if it's the art, or if it's the Egyptian theme, or if it's the kind of sense of humour, or the exploding things into giblets. It's got some pretty good cutscenes in it. But there's something about this game that keeps me coming back, and that makes it stand out as a rare and beautiful FPS on the Sega Saturn. The other FPSs I've got are like Quake, which just looks dirty on the system. This one probably looks graphically better than the PlayStation 1 version, although I guess there's differences between the two that people could debate about. I don't know them exactly. But a really good game, and I was very glad that Dave recommended it to me and reminded me of it, because it's a great addition to my Sega Saturn collection. Okay, third one then is a game that is challenging, and it doesn't have to be a game that you hate, it could be a game that you like but you find it challenging. For me, I've chosen a game that I really enjoy despite the fact that it's difficult, and it's Flicky. You guys will probably be aware of this. There have been some high score challenges recently, or not that recently, maybe a few months back, And you'll know the character Flicky. I think he appears in some of the Sonic games. But this is a very addictive and pretty damn challenging game where you essentially play as... what do you play as? A bird, yeah. You play as Flicky the bird, of course you do. And you have to collect little yellow chicks. And essentially you're getting chased all the time by cats. And it gets increasingly more and more complex and more difficult. And the cats just seem to gang up on you. And then there's also a chameleon that can kind of go around the levels, and it's very, very challenging, but there's something beautifully addictive about it. And the challenge kind of makes me feel more determined. It's like, damn, I should have seen that cat coming. You start to get more and more brave at jumping over the cats, at leading them down false tunnels, and trying to outmaneuver them as best as you can. There's just something that I love about this game, and it's pretty damn well known and quite collectible. I had been looking for a cheap or affordable version of this for ages, and in the end I had to fork out £20, which was not bad, but maybe a little bit more than I would have hoped. But for the prices it's going for, that was the best I could have got, to be honest with you. Next up is a game that you wish that you'd played more. Now, it might be a game that in your collection that you've never played, you just bought it and put it somewhere, or it might be a game that you've played a bit and wish that you'd had time to complete, or just to put more hours in. And I've chosen Outrun. I'm going off camera, I should be putting it this way. I've chosen Outrun on the Sega Mega Drive, which of course is a classic game, and it's one that so many people love so much. I almost felt guilty that I was so late to the party with it. It's like, everyone keeps going on about this game and I've barely played it. And so I bought it because I knew that I wanted to get into it and I wanted to see what all the fuss was about. And even after buying it, I've barely touched it. It's like, I don't know why, but when there's a game in your collection you just don't seem to get round to playing it, even though you know it's good. And I really enjoyed it when I did play it. Well, this is Outrun for me. It's like, it's brilliant, it's beautiful, it's challenging, the graphics look great, the music's awesome, it's really well known. Wish that I'd played that game more. I'm going to have to set some time aside to play Outrun. It's just got addictive gameplay. It's that arcadey style feel of trying to get through checkpoints and to beat the clock. In a similar vein to sort of Super Hang-On was, but this is with cars. And it's an absolute classic. It's a real classic. I got cheated, so this is a game that really pissed me off actually, because somebody told me this had a manual in it, and it don't, and I paid a reasonable price for it. I fucking hate when that happens on YouTube. Anyway, that's the rant. And the last one then, for this episode anyway, is a game that you've completed. There's a lot of Mega Drive coming out here for me. I've chosen Alien Storm, which is one of my all-time favourite Sega Mega Drive games. It's a blast from the past, one of the games that I had when I was a kid, even though nobody else seemed to have it or talk about it. What I like about this game is the fact that it isn't just like a Streets of Rage beat-em-up. It's firstly got a sci-fi theme, the characters are kind of quirky with a very camp robot, and there's just something quirky and interesting about it. I'm not exactly sure how to describe it. It has got a Sega Master System version before this. The thing that really makes it for me though is, well, maybe two things. The music is fantastic, I love the music, it's very jaunty. And there are first-person shooter, I suppose, or on-the-rails shooter elements to it, which makes it brilliant. It's really hard to complete two-player unless you're both really good because you share your continues. But I have beat this game several times on my own, and I had a blast. The last level is brutal. You've got to choose from multiple forking options, and if you keep guessing the wrong way, you're going to be facing almost unlimited enemies. But if you get it right, you can get through there without too much trouble, and then you've got a first-person shooter level at the end where you just got to keep blasting the ship's mother brain. There's something great about this game, and I could complete it, once a week. I like it that much. I really would like to beat it in multiplayer one day though, but I just haven't found the qualified enough accomplice. Maybe one day I will. So there you go, guys. 5 random games from your collection that I'd like you to talk about. Please post a video response in the comments below. And as I said, if you guys are interested in this, maybe we can make it into a bit of a series and I could show some of your responses next time round. Take care, guys, and I look forward to hearing from you all soon. Bye!